make the move into the top 5 there, and on the number 5 machine, he's been the rider that's been able to make the good progress all the way through this group, and he's been the rider that's been able to make some moves, so keep an eye on the number 5.
There is your live championship standings. That's if the race were to finish as the standings are at present. It would lead us with a 6-point gap. Hakim Danish, 1 position now ahead of Ezawa on the circuit. Third place is obviously worth 16 championship points, 13 points available for 4th position. There's a lot of position changes between now and the end of the race, that's for sure, particularly with just over a second covering your lead sextet, as you can see. Yeah,
and obviously for all these ATC riders, one of the things that they're going to know coming into this race is 2/3 race distance. 16-lap race, so in the final third of the race, you know that if there's any instance, that will be a race defining result. So all of these guys will know that they've got to now start to edge themselves into the lead of this group, just in case anything happens later on.
Mia, the next rider, trying to make some progress. 1 minute 44.141, a new fastest lap of the race. The pace, as I've said, gradually improving with each passing lap.
Yeah, and from Gunn, we've been able to see a series of laps where he's been able to pull back 3 or 4 tenths of a second on the riders around him. Last time around, he was 3 tenths of a second faster than Ezawa in front of him. And certainly for Gunn on that number 5 machine, he knows that if he's to have the chance of winning the ATC this year, he needs to clear Ezawa because the top 3 are breaking away.
25 points, of course, is the magic margin as far as Mia is concerned. He needs the gap to be smaller than that at the end of this race. If he were to stay in 5th position with Hakim Danish on the podium, that would leave him out of contention for the Asia Talent Cup, and we would be down to the straightforward head-to-head between Danish and Ezawa that we were largely predicting for race 2 tomorrow afternoon. It is Pratama then who leads ahead of Carter Thompson. Hakim Danish still sitting in 3rd, the top 3 as they were, remember, on the grid, but plenty of change further back down the order with Ezawa and Mie, the 2 main championship rivals to Hakim Danish, in championship order at the moment. Liner Stern 3rd to 5th.
Yeah, and for Ezawa, he needs to, well, he's done a good job in this lap to get himself back on terms with Hakim Danish, but he needs to clear him as well. If there's an opportunity to pick up some points, he needs to do it now.
Mie still leading, Fetasan still with them as well in 6th place. That's the group with less than a second between them. Further back down the order, Adaki now is well back from Rizwanto, and he in turn has lost half a second from Fetasan. So it's turned into a 6-rider group at the head of the field. See if Rizwanto can try and make up any of that ground. At the moment, he's around about half a second a lap slower than the riders around him, and that's what's enabling them to break away. And then a separate 3-rider train now has appeared. Adaki, Wakamatsu and Nicholas well clear of Hafi, who's just got through on Fadilla for 11th. So the field beginning to splinter now on lap 7.
Yeah, and in this lead group, Hakim Danish on the number 13, our championship leader, he is the slowest rider in that group. So the other riders have been able to close up onto the back of him, and certainly for Ezawa and Gunmia, they need to clear him now.
As we watch on lap number 7, it's VEDA Pratama who leads the way. Ever trying to open up that margin, but unable to do so. And of course, inevitably, the slipstream advantage, particularly down your start-finish straight, 723 metres, remember, allows everyone to come back onto his tail. But so far, haven't been able to really strike on Pratama to wrestle that race lead away from him.
He's impressive as well. He's keeping a very cool head here. He might be the youngest rider in the field, but he's already a race winner in ATC. And in this race, he's been doing a very good job just to make sure he's able to keep all this group behind him.
Yes, VEDA Pratama, just 13 years of age. He'll be celebrating his 14th birthday later on this month. And it is the number 7 who holds things up at the top of the field. He's gone a little bit wide there. That's going to put him offline. This might be the best opportunity yet for Carter Thompson to make the move into the ever-tightening turns 15 and 16. Thompson on the number 6 bike there in 2nd place. Has to hold station for the moment at least. Danish and Ezawa still right behind.
He has given up 7 tenths of a second now, and it looks like he's given up another position as well behind them.
Fetasan then coming through on the number 20 bike. We'll see them side by side as they make their way off turn number 1 and in towards turn 2. It's Ezawa making up the ground. He has been released from Mia and Fetasan, and those two, the 20 and the 5, rather need to work together now. 8 tenths of a second that gap, and that's the kind of margin where they can begin to break away. We could be looking at a 4-rider group now to contest those 3 podium places.
Yeah, it does look like we're moving into that territory now, which also leaves us with a 2-rider group for the championship standings.
The 2 championship rivals touch. VEDA Pratama comes over the line to win his home round in Indonesia. Race 1 goes to VEDA Pratama, 2nd over the line to Carter Thompson, and the 2 championship rivals. going into race 2 tomorrow. The Indonesian fans celebrating with VEDA Pratama, your race winner, and a good opportunity for the Indonesian flag to be shown as well.
It's quite the makeshift Indonesian flag there, I think, from the marshals, but
it's a good effort.
It's a solid effort from them, and really impressive from Pratama. We saw him win earlier in the season in Buriram, and he's been able to notch up now 5 podiums as well.